Good evening. I can't hear you.
Now you can hear me, can't you?
Hey, there you are.
Typical schoolboy era. I can't believe it's our 10th episode and I didn't have my mic turned on.
And you know what? And after all of the comments last week about my audio, I've eventually got a set of earphones in. And when they come on, I thought,
tonight, yeah, that's right. No, we have a few problems there. But it sounds good. It looks good. Hell of a show for our 10th one.
Oh, do you know what? I love the intro as well. I was getting really excited. I didn't notice when you showed me before that it says, "Are you ready? Let's go." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm really excited." I mean, maybe a bit over the top if anybody's watching, but
spent all day doing that.
You did spend all day doing it, but I think it was well worth your time.
Anyway, let's talk weddings. Pew pew. Yes, good evening. Good evening. We've got lots of viewers tonight.
Oh, wow, amazing.
Probably because we've got a really, really cool popular venue on, maybe.
Oh, yeah, one of my favorites. In fact, just to say it was in my top three.
It was in your top three.
We didn't order them.
It was in the top three. It was fair play. I love that.
Yeah.
So we've got an action-packed show. We have Megan Griffiths from Coed y Mwster, who's going to be coming on and chatting, talking us through the venue, the wonderful experience that they give there for bride and grooms. We can have a little look around the place as well. We've got some wonderful photos to show everybody if anybody's interested in looking around the venue. Some of the latest guidelines going on, what venues can and can't do, which will be really informative, and I can't wait to hear that because I'm
changing again from Monday. Yeah,
that's correct. And we're also going to chat about if people can't wait to tie the knot, which why should they wait? I mean, do you know what I mean? If you want to get married now, then go and do it. We're going to chat about...
and to add one thing to that, Les, I'm just because the things changed with England last week and it kind of went back a step, and then weddings were forced to postpone or cancel last minute. Yeah. So the top 10 tips at the end are all about having that plan ready. If you do need to downsize, or if you want the wedding like that because you don't want to wait, don't miss the top tips at the end.
That's very true. Very, very true. So what's the webcast?
So the webcast is a live wedding show. It gives you the chance to speak to wedding suppliers and, of course, some of the best venues in Wales directly, ask you questions. It's all about giving you information for you to make informed choices. What isn't the webcast, Les?
We are not a selling stream. We are not here to do the big hard sale or say, book me, book me, book me. This is literally being born out of boredom of COVID because we miss weddings so much. Two mates who've been in the game for 13 years apiece, bringing on other friends and venues and services that we respect and we feel that people should listen to them and see what they can offer. And if we can help one person, we've done our job. Yeah.
And I say this every week. I've learned something on every single episode so far. And I've been doing wedding. I do like numerous weddings a week, especially next year.
So just a little bit of information. If we give out our top tips every Tuesday, they become automatic to your inbox on Facebook. That's all you have to do is inbox the webcast page by saying tips, TIPS, and then automatically you subscribe to our top 10 tips every week, which are really, really informative. You get them through automatically every week if you comment on inbox message to us now. Is that correct?
It is, and we're up to 99 people that have subscribed since last week. So not as much of a jump, but if you want to be the 100th person, please be our guest. There's no sales pitch, there's no spamming. It's quite simply the 10 tips, and that's it. You know, that's what you get every week. So,
and it's really informative. If you are getting married, and I think it's worth having,
Yeah, me too. I really believe that.
And some previous episodes we've done, we have had different venues on. We've had different services on. We've had magicians on. We've had videographers on. We've had, help me out. We've had bridal.
We've had Lynn. Yeah, we've had a real bride on. We've had Lynn from Lovey Dovey. We've had Jerris, a wedding band. I mean, we're covering, this is episode 10, and we're covering quite a wide range,
And like I said, we've had real brides on, which we've got more real brides coming up, telling us about how they have replanned again. Some of them, different venues, different services. So yeah, it's an exciting stream that we do every week, 7:30 on the webcast.
Okay, awesome. So who are you, Les?
I am Les Davis from Click Photography and Film. Been shooting weddings for 13 years or more now, and really enjoy it. Really enjoy capturing people's weddings for them. Looking back, so they can have great memories for the rest of their lives, I guess. And to be honest, the little heirlooms that they can hand down to family members. So print your photos. That's a telling off from me, James. Could you tell?
Yeah.
Print your photos. Don't keep them digitally. Print them, please. Print them. They're worth, they're priceless.
Yeah, they are priceless.
And you are?
So my name's James. My company is James Hawker Magic. I'm a wedding magician, and a corporate magician and party magician, and I provide entertainment during your wedding day. I can provide it at any point you'd like, but it's quite often at the quieter or lull periods during the day.
Very true.
And that's it. I'm getting better at that bit.
You are getting good at that bit. So should we bring on
100%? I can't wait.
Our guest. So
do my magic.
So today we have the wonderful Coed y Mwster on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So do you want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hi.
Wow.
Good evening, Meg. How are you?
Are you very well in yourselves?
Yes,
Excellent.
I'm very good.
Thank you. Excited to have the conversation about the coed and all the stuff you do.
Brilliant. Fab.
Can you hear everything okay?
Yeah, I can hear everything fine. Absolutely fine.
Ah, cool.
Oh, amazing. Thank
you. Sorted. Okay, so Megan Griffiths, welcome.
Thank you.
What's your title there?
I'm a wedding and events coordinator, but I also do a little bit of the social media as well for the coed.
Ah, okay.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So if you're talking to the coed, you're usually talking to me.
Oh, bro, that's brilliant. The right person then. The right person is who we've got.
I think so.
So, sorry, James.
No, go on. I was going to say.
So, tell us about the venue there. If people haven't or don't know about Coed y Mwster, what feel is it there? What are we? Are we a marquee based? Are we an old vintage building? Are we what is the wedding vibe there?
Definitely, I would say it's a country manor house. So it's got the old chandeliers, it's got the big wooden beams you can see behind me.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
It's a very family-orientated venue. It's really, you get that from the moment you step in. I think everyone here is just super, super friendly. And being a family-run business, that really shines through whenever we deliver any services, anything like that. And that's not just weddings, that's popping in for tea and coffee, hello, things like that. People who just pop in, lunches, dinners, and we're far more than just weddings. We do baby showers, obviously not so much more at the moment. But definitely. And obviously we've got our beautiful ground area, which is usually our biggest selling point, and it's definitely been something that's kept us going throughout all this COVID news. So we recently had a marquee put out in our back garden on our side lawns to allow people to obviously come up, and where they're permitting, they're still covered. We've got the log fires. So it's really that warm, homely feeling, when it's been a horrible day and you just want to put your feet up in front of a fire and have a nice coffee.
Sounds amazing. I want to do it now.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's really just a homely, family orientated feel to it, definitely. And from the moment you walk in to the moment you leave, whether that's weddings, celebrations, afternoon tea, dinner, you will always get that service, not just from us, from the housekeepers, reception.
It is everybody. I mean, I can attest to that. I know the service in the Coed y Mwster is second to none. And Christmas parties you missed out, but I performed at so many Christmas parties at the Coed last year, and wow, they were all amazing. It's one of those venues that kind of, for some reason, is able to keep the atmosphere really, really good and really, really high. It's genuinely worth checking out. It's awesome. I'm like giving it a big sell now. Sorry, man. It just is that good. I love it. I do love it.
But it's right. I mean, like I said, we are. How can I say that? We're not doing a big sale. We're just being honest. And I think as a photographer's point of view, I mean, the grounds and everything there it's a beautiful place to photograph a wedding. Do you know what I mean? It makes the bride and groom's day easy because they can have photographs really close on the grounds. They haven't got to be traveling for ages away. And I love venues that I see it as it's all encompassing. Do you know what I mean? You can do everything there. You don't really need to go off or be taken away to do photographs.
No.
It's all there, and that just gives the bride and groom more time on their day then instead of traveling around to do photographs. I think it's a beautiful place, you know.
Yeah, I think our biggest selling is also our driveway, because our driveway is only like a mile long. So I think guests are coming to a wedding, it's like that anticipation of, oh my gosh, okay, we're going to a wedding, but it's really nestled away. So obviously we're really hidden from everyone. And that way, it just makes it more inclusive, more homely, more family, just you guys. And I think we only sell one wedding a day. We only host one wedding a day. So
that's one of my other questions.
That's brilliant.
Can I just jump in, Meg? You know, you're saying it's nestled away. It definitely is that, but it is very accessible, isn't it? You know, you're off the I mean, if you're coming from the motorway, you're off the M4 and you can be at the Coed in like under 10 minutes.
Oh my God,
it's really not very far at all. So, I mean, that's one of the other big selling points for me is that, you know, it's kind of central. You can get there from everywhere easily. So, yeah,
absolutely. I think we have a lot of people who, you know, match day, perfect location. We're straight on the M4, straight off the M4. So, you know, when you need a taxi home, we're just literally that accessible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Question in from Jane Lation there. Awesome venue for all locations. So she's agreeing with us, which is lovely to know.
It is, it really is.
And we've also got some more coming in. Toria Jones.
Hello, Toria.
Hello, and Nicola. Lots of love for the venue, which is really nice to see. Really nice to see. Okay, so how long have you been working there, Meg?
Oh gosh, so I started when I was about 15, 16, so I've been here for quite some time. So I started first in F&B part-time, doing my GCSEs and things like that, and it was just so local to me, so it was easy, like you said, accessible. I could pop up after school, do a shift and go home. Then I moved down to reception to help out on reception when I was in my A-levels, I believe. And then when I went to university, obviously I went part-time. Did my university course and was coming back and forth wherever I could. Just loved the place, missed the social of it as well, because like I said before, it's just one massive family. So you just miss everyone. You miss that social. And then I obviously graduated, and it being in such a competitive degree, that just jobs were just like so sparse. It was so bad. So then the wedding events coordinator position came up, and I just thought, why not? It's the only department I haven't tried yet. So I tried it, and I absolutely love it. I mean, a lot of my friends would probably say I'm a bit of the planner as well. I love organising things, but definitely,
I think that's a good trait for somebody in your job. I think
absolutely.
A bit of a planner. Well, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super organised, and it's amazing. And I think being a wedding planner here, there's just something extra, and I'm not biased at all, she says, but I just feel it's like one big family, and you know, we are part of a bigger family, so we are part of Town and Country Collective, so there's obviously other businesses within our group, and even then we're all so together, we're so like looked after each other, and you know, through everything that we've gone through at the moment, I couldn't have asked for a better company to be, you know, employed by.
But I don't think it's even being biased or anything. Do you know what I mean? Because I think if you do this sort of business that we are in, weddings and stuff, you have to have a passion for it. You have to love it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying how wonderful the team is there and how beautiful the place is, because, you know, I think that's truth, you know.
You know, though, at the end of the day, my views are, I mean, every venue has got pros and cons, and let's be honest, that is the case. But unless you go and see a venue like the Coed or any venue, and you get a feel for it, and you see it in real life and speak to people about it, you're not going to garner that from a website, however brilliant the website is, I don't think. So that's really, really important.
We just had another comment in a minute. Sorry, we got a couple coming in, so I just want to try and get through them.
Wow.
Daisy was there. Afternoon tea today. Good service, never disappointed. Highly recommended. Perfect. I mean, you can't get no better than just people saying stuff like this. Do you know what I mean? This is just like people coming in on Facebook, which is
the food is really good as well, isn't it? Like,
literally.
I'm dying
thank
for
you, Daisy,
a meal
for that
out.
comment.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, Meg, do you know if people will come into the Coed y Mwster, do you hold, because one of the things we come up with was, do you hold provisional dates? How does that kind of work at the Coed?
So in terms of weddings, so obviously if someone was to come to us and they looked around the venue and they said, oh my God, yeah, we love it, but we've got like 6 other viewings, to do this week because everyone's trying to cram everything in.
Yeah.
Then what we would say to them is, that's fine. If we have a date that you really would like and you think you're not going to find it anywhere else, we allow them to provisionally hold it for 2 weeks because we think
awesome.
2 weeks is plenty of time for you to obviously view venues, get a real good feel for everything, and then sit down, look at it all together, and then not feel rushed into making a decision. And like one of the biggest decisions possibly of your life, So in those after those 2 weeks, then a £750 deposit is required just to confirm the booking, and then nothing is due until a year before the wedding. And then final balance 4 weeks before. So we're really flexible in terms of if you're still looking or if you're not, and it's no obligation hold. So you don't have anything to lose if you don't hold the date or if you do hold the date. So
that's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people have they've got nothing to lose. Come down, have a look. If you decide you want a date, book one in, and then and then whatever. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How many rooms in that you got there? So if people want to stay over,
so
night of the wedding.
So we obviously we're dog friendly as well, so that's another big bonus, and I think another big thing that's really like hit off at the moment is we have 35 bedrooms in total, 7 of which are based in our coach house, which are all dog friendly, and then the rest of the bedrooms then are based in our main hotel. So they range from standard doubles, accessible bedrooms, unexpected doubles, junior suites. So we work very closely with everyone. I mean, we're always commended on our final detail attention because we literally are so driven by the final details. It's all those details that really make your guest stay the best it can be. So
absolutely.
For example, if you had a family member who obviously maybe needed a wheelchair accessible bedroom, we could allocate that for them because their comfort is just as important as anyone else's. So you wouldn't want any guest to turn up, feel uncomfortable with saying, I can't get to my room. Like, can I do anything else? Move. So we plan that way in advance with them, and we cater for basically much everyone, even four-legged people, four-legged dogs.
I think that's awesome because I'm a furry father. I don't know if I said that, but as it was coming out of my mouth, I'm a furry father.
Are you serious?
Well, yeah,
you sound like my wife.
We can't edit this.
Dog,
I'm not very furry as it happens, but I've got a little angel dog. Anyway, I won't talk too much about him, but he is awesome. But that is really important to know, isn't it?
A nice little quick. That's really nice.
That's brilliant.
That's really nice. Thank you, Lloyd, for that comment there.
Yeah, thank you very, very much.
Sounds like you had a great wedding, which is fabulous. So. Go on, James. You're gonna.
Oh no, just gonna say, a lot of people want to incorporate their pets, and it's always dogs, isn't it? As far as I know, the tortoise carrying down the aisle, anything down the aisle. But a lot of people love the pet so much they want them involved in a big day, and and so that is a nice, touch.
Sometimes it's difficult too, because like having pet sitters, because all your family and friends who would have the pet are at the wedding. So it's a strange thing. So I think sometimes when you're stuck, I think having a pet-friendly hotel is priceless, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, we have a lot of people because obviously we offer doggy afternoon tea. We're not at the moment, but we do. So we offer doggy afternoon tea, and I feel a lot of people bring it up. And they say, look, we're coming to a wedding. If they're traveling, they may as well make the weekend of it. So they might stay on the Friday, leave on the Sunday, but come down Friday and have doggy afternoon tea on arrival. Wow. So it's really, really good. And I think it just takes the pressure off a lot of people because I know it sounds really bad, but I've got a dog and she is literally my life. But, I'd feel awful putting her in a kennel or anything like that because she just wouldn't go. But I think it just takes the pressure off people when they think, oh my God, we've got to try and find someone. Like you said, everyone you'd rely on is going to be there. So it's just another thing they don't have to think of, and we can take it for them. So definitely, it's a lovely idea.
So So Meg, do you have different packages, or do you have one set package for weddings?
We have a couple of different things. So Four Seasons package is one of our most popular packages.
Okay.
Obviously, they're different days applicable on different months and things like that. But our Four Seasons package is based on 14 a day, 18 in the evening. So obviously, in regards to that, those numbers are realistically now we find that what people more go in for. So like an intimate but big wedding as such in the day. So the 40 isn't too much, but it's not too less. And then the 80 is just perfect because they only want to invite maybe like the extra boyfriends, girlfriends, partners and things like that. So it does work. But sometimes, they might say, oh, look, Meg, we're on the Four Seasons package. Can we add additional guests? Of course you can. And alternatively, some people say, oh, look, we don't want to go on a package. We just want to make it completely bespoke. And that's absolutely okay to do as well. So, there is that option too.
How many guests does the venue hold, Meg?
So it depends which area. So our lounge is obviously quite intimate lounge area, and our Elliott Suite can hold anything between 60 to 70. So perfect for like your ceremonies and things like that. And then the Henry Suite, which obviously I'm in now, can hold anything from 150 to 200. Because behind me, I don't know if you can see the bifold indoors. So on a perfect summer's day, it's just an absolute dream.
Nice, yeah.
And
especially with bifold indoors, they fold them out. Do you feel like you're outside as well? I think that's a really nice feel in the summer.
Yeah,
I love doing that. I've got some wonderful images from years ago. Rachel Lambert, you know Rachel well, as obviously Rachel took some wonderful photos of me performing on the patio. But it was just a beautiful day. It's just they're some of my favourite, Tilash.
I think it's definitely nice as well for the brides and grooms who are inviting evening guests and they're greeted through this way, because it's like, okay, now we know where the party is, and that inside-outside feeling of we don't have to stay indoors and we don't have to go, miles away to be in a venue or in another room. And it's perfect because we've got also a Burton Suite, which is attached to the Hendra, and it's perfect for, elderly guests who don't want to go away from everyone but want to feel included in the celebrations, which obviously everyone wants to be included. So I think for that area it's just perfect. There's the Henderson you get, to be honest, it's got its own bar. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
It's beautiful. Good evening, Lynn. How are you? Thanks for the comment.
Lynn lovely recommends the venue as well. Lovely. Fair play. Wonderful. Good old Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for the comment there. Awesome. We've got lots of questions coming in. I'm just trying to keep up with them a second. Somebody, I think one of your up and coming bride and grooms,
that's fab.
Rachel Wintle getting married next year there. Wow.
They had to. I know I've been speaking to Rachel quite a lot. Obviously, they were one of the ones that have obviously postponed till next year. It's been going on. It's absolutely amazing.
Perfect. Thank you for the comment, Rachel.
Yeah, thank you. All the best for your wedding next year. I'm sure you'll obviously have a great one. Fingers crossed everything is completely back to normal by then.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Do you know, Meg, I've got a question about exclusivity at the venue. I know we've got a restaurant as well. And to be honest, when I thought about this earlier, I thought, it must be exclusive because I've never been there and felt it's anything but that. But you may tell me I'm wrong now.
So, no, what we try to do is, with weddings, obviously, they are our main priority, they are the day. So what we try to do is accommodate for everyone if, say, something was to come in on that day. So bride and grooms are more than welcome to pay an exclusive hire of the whole hotel, and that way they do have exactly that. But alternatively, if we should have, an afternoon tea or a lunch booking, what we try and do is just make the timings work everywhere. So there's no overlap, there's no and then especially now with everything going on, that can't happen. So at the moment, obviously, it doesn't apply because we're not, technically at the minute. But obviously, in regards to the timings, we would look at maybe the afternoon tea bookings and when we can take them from, and then the lunch bookings, and work it all around so that nobody is on.
That's cool. I love that.
No one's invested, and that way, then everyone's happy. And brides and grooms are made aware of that when they book. We can take afternoon tea bookings, we can take lunch bookings, and
I've never noticed it. I genuinely got, unless everybody who comes for afternoon tea is dressed really smartly. But genuinely, I've never noticed it, and that's pretty cool. That's the commitment to a wedding, isn't it? That everything that you will do other things, but it's all around the timings of that wedding, and that can be as bespoke as they'd like, almost. So I mean, that's really cool.
So Meg, if so say somebody was watching this now and thinking, oh, this venue sounds wonderful. What would the process be of them in the times we're in right now of booking a consultation with you? What talk me through the process?
So obviously they can drop us an email. We send across our brochure and our price list to them, and then obviously we try and invite them in, because I feel like over email you can't get across all the information.
Sure.
And the excitement is a lot more in person than it would be on an email. So definitely we would say to them, look, come in. There are regulations. We basically have like a confirmation email that we will send to them to say there's only 2 guests at the moment to attend the viewing, which is unfortunate. You do want to bring mum, auntie, dad, uncle, dog, whoever, So it is. And I think to really limit that on such a special occasion, you just get caught up in the moment. It's so devastating when they say, oh, look, my mum and dad want to come, and we say, oh, fortunately, we can't at the moment. So obviously we wear visors and we wear masks, and we ask them if they're comfortable with that. If they're not, then we'll just remain 2 meters distance from them. I prefer technically to wear a visor, sorry, I don't like a mask. So I prefer to see people's faces, and they prefer to see mine 9 times out of 10. So it's easier that way. We ask them to, prepare loads of questions so that we can run through everything and they don't go away with any unwanted or unknown questions. There's usually 9 times out of 10 it's those questions that put them off, and it can just be solved within like 2 seconds of them asking us. So it's literally that's what would happen. We'd invite them in as soon as we can, and then show them around the venue, sit down, have a chat with them, get them maybe a prosecco to celebrate, tea, coffee, whatever they would really.
Nice. And I think that's quite important that, you're still obviously wanting people to come in and you understand the importance of them coming in, and especially like wearing the visors and stuff, it just makes people feel a little bit more safer, I guess. I mean, sometimes, and I think that's really important.
At the end of the day, we've got a situation with COVID, and nobody ideally wants. I'm sure before COVID, Meg wasn't wearing a visor. So it just is what it is, and we kind of gotta get on with that type of stuff, haven't we? So I think different people feel like. Cool.
Nice little comment off Dawn there. Sorry, favorite venue again. Great food. Everybody's going on about the food. I need to go down and taste this food.
I know. We'll have to do it. We'll have to do it when, especially the burgers that you were serving last weekend. Because just a slight, digressing weddings, that your events, like your food events and stuff at the moment, just look phenomenal. I was very, very jealous of the meals being served on the weekend. So,
and we also got a big thumbs up for the doggy afternoons.
My little chief.
I tell you what, James, we booked it.
Not Alicia. My dog's name is Chief.
You can take Chief, and I'll take Ned.
Alicia. Yeah, I'd love her. I'd absolutely love her. After August the 16th, Ned and Chief.
I don't know if I'd be allowed back in if I took Ned, though, because he is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. Ned is banned. We'll have to have you on again.
Like, I don't want my dog banned. Like. No. Have you got like a list on the wall for like, in pubs, banned people?
No, definitely.
I'm gonna dog thing with it. Like, I'd want Ned to be the first one on the wall. Like,
no, of course not. No, we got plenty of ground space, so they can't stay inside that much. They won't be out too much.
Oh, cool.
Meg, what's this?
Somebody else said that. I know.
What's Fish and Fizz?
So that was one of our food nights, not last week, the week before, and that was the week that it absolutely busted down. So literally, for everyone who came, we can't thank you enough, because not one table cancelled, and it was bucketing down. Like the heavens opened, and everyone stayed, and it was just fantastic. And we were all like sat, chatting about it, thinking, how, like, if it was me, I would be completely honest, I would have said, no, you can, I'm not going, it's raining, I'm not going. But everyone turned out, and it was amazing. It was brilliant. So Fish and Fizz, we were doing fish dishes with prosecco. So there was things such as like fish and chips, and there was whitebait, calamari.
Wow.
There was just a fish goujon sandwich. It was amazing. It was fab.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds cool.
And then
Look
another
at-
question coming in, which is great there. Look at that.
The quote, but there, yeah.
That's amazing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, that is a great testimony, Lloyd Fipley. That doesn't go
that
any
is.
better than that. Like, so, yeah, thank
The
you so
booking
much for
there and then.
your comments. Okay, I'm just going to share. Shall we have a look at some photographs and have a look around the place?
Can I ask one more question first?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Just because people will want to know, how long before, and this I've pinched Leslie's question actually, how long before can couples come and set up for their wedding? I know obviously at the current situation, but I mean usually.
So in terms of setting up their actual wedding?
Yeah.
So it depends really, because 9 times out of 10, if you got married on Friday, we would have a free day on Thursday. So they're more than welcome to come in on the Thursday if they really wanted to. We can close off that space and say that's fine, we're not going to use it for anything if they wanted to personally put any touch-ins in themselves, But sometimes we work so close with the suppliers, they'll make businesses up when what time's best for you guys. So we sort of take that stress off and we'll sort that ourselves. 9 times out of 10 on a final details appointment, they'll say to us, look, our supply is going to come in at this time. Is that okay? And of course it is. It's not a problem.
That's cool.
This room is set up, say it's 100, it's set up from 3 o'clock the morning of the wedding anyway. So if a bride and groom, say their supplies come in at 6 and they woke up, if a bride actually slept till 8, I don't think they ever do.
No, I don't think it would.
So wanted to come down and view the room, they could. And just have a look at it. I mean, it's always a little bit of an anxious, nervous belly feeling that you haven't seen the room before you walk in. And you can tell if it's not right, if the bride walks in and their face doesn't say it all, and the groom is like, what is going on? This isn't what we wanted. Touch wood, that's never happened with us, so we're okay. So anytime really, it just all depends on the business levels. If we can accommodate the night before, we will. But alternatively, they can really, get in here as soon as they really need to be honest.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Alison. From Belle Marie Bridal.
Yeah, the awesome Belle Marie.
Beautiful.
Hi guys, hi Al. Nice to see you.
Good
Thanks
evening.
for tuning in.
This is a much better waver than me, I think you are, Les.
I'm faster.
I've got the earphones now. Next week, that's it. I'm waving. I'm going to be the waver. Sorry, Les, I interrupted when we're going to look. And
that's all right. That's okay. Let's we're just going to have a little look a minute. I'm just going to share the screen a minute so we can just have a little look.
Just to say, these images are completely up to date, Meg, aren't they? So you're just going to get.
Yeah. Find out.
Okay, so so let's have a little. Right. Okay, yeah, I'm with you now. I shot you many years ago. I mean, it's one of them venues that are a bit elusive to me. I think I've shot there twice, but many years ago. But looking at these now, I'm like, I mean, what a beautiful building. Beautiful building. Okay. Yes. I mean, that's where you
are now.
Them beams. That's where you are now, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I mean, them beams are incredible. And again, in the photograph here, how nice do they show off the room and things like that? I mean, it goes a long way, doesn't it, how a room looks.
Definitely.
You've managed quite well that mixture of new, and I mean, of like, it's an old like mansion, but then that looks fairly modern to me. I think you've retained the features, Yeah,
so because I've been here obviously for quite some time, I think the changes I would have seen is things that we just become more modern. I mean, we've kept our charm, we've kept the charisma, we've kept the warm feeling of it. Like we would have got rid of the beams because that ties in so lovely with our lounge area, and it brings the whole running theme throughout the hotel. So definitely,
yeah,
really lovely.
Beautiful. Wow, what a transformation!
Crazy.
That is crazy. How nice does that look all done up? I mean, the flowers hanging off the beams there, that's absolutely stunning.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
And sorry, how many can you fit in here again?
So
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So pre-COVID, obviously that would be set up for about 100 to 110 maybe in the day. But obviously with different numbers requires different chairs, maybe different layouts of tables. But this room seated like that, so no dance floor would sit about 100 to 110.
Of course.
120.
So and when the room is like this to this, obviously there's a turnaround period. Where would people go then? Because I think that's really important to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So wherever they like. So they're more than welcome to go on the tent patio. I mean, during that time, remember, people are having canapes, drinks, reception, photographs, traditions, you know, they're having all that. All that in that different that waylay period. So they're more than welcome to go on the grounds area, the lawns, the lounge, whichever they prefer, really.
Yeah. I think it's quite important because sometimes people don't understand that little section there because you've got to turn that room around.
Yeah.
And, you know, and some people think, oh, we can't stay in here. And sometimes they go to a room which is tiny and they're trying to fit everybody in, but you've got so much space there. It's still comfortable and enjoyable, you know?
Yeah.
And the beauty of it for me is it's about 10 steps away. they can just literally go on the patio. You can see it.
And especially if you're bringing in, like you said, a magician, because magicians generally come in and entertainment comes in around this time just to entertain guests. I would take them off as a photographer, take them off to do some photographs, and obviously the guests are mulling around then having a drink and having a laugh. Bringing in somebody like James then to keep people entertained while you guys can turn this room around is priceless, you know.
Or even, you know, just not to be too big, even though I'm very grateful, you know, just some like live music on the patio. It's just gorgeous, like, honestly.
Isn't it? It's really quite special.
It does.
Oh, and that's another view there. It's so lovely. Really, really. And the light, I'm looking at the light here coming through these windows and thinking, yes, it's not a little dark, dreary room, which is going to challenge my skills, which is all right sometimes, but sometimes I look at rooms like this and I think, yes, beautiful images.
Yeah. I think the beauty of this room is it never looks the same. I've never seen it look exactly the same. Every design is different, and I don't know if it's a supplier or a photographer's thing. It's just, it never looks the same. It's always dressed differently, and it always looks breathless. And like, even if you just had like the minimalist of things of like a, you know, like a rustic log base with candles, you know, like things like that, it still looks absolutely beautiful because of the wood beam. So it all ties in somewhere, and you know, like the actual wallpaper, it's white and it's grey, so it's really neutral. If you
all neutral, perfect. Some venues that you go to and there's like really crazy color on the ceiling or on the walls, and then especially for the photographer, you pop that flash off and then everybody's yellow. You know, so you've got to, you know, and it's okay. It's quite easy to you know, counteract and sort out, but I prefer not to have it. Do you know what I mean? So rooms like this with neutral greys and whites, etc., is perfect for your photographs. You know, so I mean, it means a lot, I think.
And your photographs are your memories, isn't it? And so you know, I mean,
totally right. They're priceless, you know. But the room looks absolutely stunning. So, this is one of the rooms now.
That is one of our dog-friendly rooms, actually. That is
wow.
House 4,
I know.
Do you know what? I didn't think it'd be that nice if there's a dog allowed in there, but that's really, you know, credit to the hotel. Like, that's
probably Ned's not allowed in it, Les.
Do you know why I wouldn't be like? I wouldn't risk it.
Yeah. Well, that is really beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is looking really fresh.
Yeah. Fair play.
Let's see some more.
Okay, so a little look through. Wow.
So that is room 3. So that's our bridal suite. So yeah, lovely room, really beautiful.
That's really well decorated as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I was, you know, creative and stuff like that. I'm useless. Like, and I'm colorblind as well, so that don't help. Anyway.
Oh, I mean, these rooms are stunning. Is this the dog-friendly room again?
It is. So the dog on the bed is actually our do not disturb sign. So the obviously they're saying let's sleep in dog's life. That is.
Cool.
God, you know what? That's amazing. Little attention to detail, little stuff like that. That's really nice and nice little touches.
It is, like you said, Meg. That is what makes the experience, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's what we're all about. Is those final touches, making it homely, making it, you know, that is.
Wow, these rooms are beautiful.
I know they are. They are.
Stunning. Obviously, that's coming up the driveway, so that is that's the view everyone gets when you arrive.
And the space here, all this greenery, the trees, photographs. You haven't got to walk far at all to have beautiful images. You know what I mean? I think that's really, really. I can't stress enough to bride and grooms. Venues that have places like this where you can just literally walk 2 steps and you've got some crazy, beautiful images instead of traveling 30 minutes somewhere and 30 minutes back. It's an hour gone of your day. And then there's an hour on top doing the photographs there. There's 2 hours gone of your day. Where here, you're literally talking minutes before you get to that destination, and I think
it's not even the travel time either, is it? I mean, I've been to some friends' weddings just as a guest, and in one of my friends' weddings, there was like a car had broke down, so there was traffic on the way back from the photos.
Yeah.
So it's just like, so those things are really, we're not just saying it, they are really, really important.
Yeah, totally agree. Wow. Beautiful. This really is stunning. And I mean, I'm not just saying it. Anybody looks at that and think, that's a beautiful wedding venue. Do you know what I mean? I would get married there, like, if I weren't already married.
Garden, phenomenal. They're absolutely amazing. They work so hard. Like, it's ridiculous how hard they're always here whenever they need to be, and they do it for like the whole, like, so obviously we're part of Town and Country, like they do it for us all, and every venue just looks absolutely beautiful. They're amazing.
Yeah, it does.
What we seeing here, just the reception drinks, is it?
Yes, that is the reception drinks. So bottled beer, Becker's orange juice, and some wash cakes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which are also good. I may have sneaked one or two of those.
I think everyone has.
Yeah.
That's how it's
so that, I was just going to say, that's the green space we saw a couple of images ago.
So that's out the side lawns at the back. Yes, that's what currently. So that was taken on Friday or Saturday when we had Lovely Sun. So that is currently, if you were going to come to the hotel for, like one of the bigger and beer nights or the fish and beers, that is how it is. And it's honestly, it's such an amazing atmosphere. You got, like we've got music in the background, obviously not too loud because of COVID restrictions and everything like
that. Would this be how a wedding could look now?
Possibly. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be buying the marquee as of yet. I know we hired it because it was like one of the last ones in South Wales. And given everything that was going on, business levels were dependent upon the weather. And when we didn't have that, there was nothing, And we had the opportunity to utilise the space. So we've seen the opportunity and we've just gone for it. And it's worked so well. I mean, a lot of people who are under the gazebos you can see on the left are like private pods type of thing, and they love it.
Yeah.
They think it's
I love that as well.
I got a little video. Surely that could work for a wedding.
I mean, I think so, wouldn't you? But you have to wait to see what the restrictions say.
I think I think that must be so difficult for venues, though. Because we often talk about the impact on couples, but I mean for venues, that change is so. I mean, it's just like it's huge, isn't it? Like it's can we go inside? Can we go outside? Can we do?
I mean, I think with the restrictions being so up and down and they change so frequently, I think it's so hard and people forget that we don't have more information than what they do. And I think that's been the biggest thing, is that people tend to think that we've got like an organisation that we refer to and, that we have someone that's going to tell us when we can and we can't do weddings. We're running off the same information as everyone else. And from Monday they said, weddings we can do wedding ceremonies inside, but yet you can't host the wedding reception, so the sit-down meal has got to take place outside. Well, you get what I mean? Like, how is that going to work? We don't have the guaranteed weather here in Wales. Weather nature isn't that kind to us, to be honest, for the best of days. So it is really difficult. So I think for us as a venue, I'd like to say it hasn't been too stressful, because I don't know if we're lucky. We just attract brides and grooms that are so understanding. They completely understand that we don't know anything more than they do. But like I said at the beginning, it really makes a difference when you work for people who genuinely care for you. And I couldn't ask for anything better than to work for Town and Country. They've looked after every single one of us. On our return to work, we've had all the up-to-date training. We've had all the PPE.
Awesome.
Phase returns to work if necessary. They've been absolutely fantastic. And honestly, I can't rave about them enough. They've been brilliant.
So sorry, Meg. Just going back to what's happening from Monday on. Could you just briefly just tell us what do you know? What can happen from Monday on now?
So from Monday, so yesterday, Wales.
Yeah, sorry.
So if you're a licensed wedding venue, you can hold ceremonies as long as it's safe and obviously they are social distanced.
So it's still on the 30.
Still on guests, no more than 30. Any more than 30 is a mass gathering as such, and is deemed, not acceptable at the current circumstance. But, and rightfully so, loads of brides and grooms have rung me and said, well, hang on a second, I can go to a restaurant and I can sit with X amount of people. And I have to explain to them, because you come in at different times, that's why they see it fit. If that makes any sense to you guys. That they think we're all under one room at the same time. So what's the difference? And unfortunately, I can't answer.
No, that's right.
So it is really difficult. But from a venue perspective, so Monday they can do ceremonies, but we can't do a wedding reception, breakfast, or the meal, the drinks, unless it's served outside. Now, there are loads of questions that come with that, because you can argue that at a wedding, it's a family that have all bubbled together pretty much anyway. And they're all, it's their choice, it's their family. That's what a wedding is. It's a family celebration. Yeah, you have friends, but the majority of them are family. And I can understand the frustration of some people that say, well, Meg, we don't actually understand what's going on, like what can and what we can't do. And as a wedding coordinator, it's so frustrating to say, this is what we can do, this is what we can't. You've just got to do what you can with that information. And
I agree, Meg. I can't imagine how difficult it is for venues, and just the fact that you're making these preparations for this week, and in 3 weeks' time that could change.
So exactly that. Because they've said on the 15th of August that it could be reviewed, and you could have more. So there's people that are getting married, later in the year, that have said, "Oh, we're going to hold off, and we're going to hold off," and that's absolutely fine. We're not putting any pressure on anyone to move, because
that's good.
That's good. It might be okay, but we can't guarantee that at the moment. And we're just saying to everyone, look, we're not putting any pressure on you. You do what you think is best, and we're here to support you and help you through any decisions that you decide to make.
So as a venue, if I came to you, or I had my wedding booked in, I said, right, okay, I'm going to go for it. We're gonna stick with this date now, and in, I don't know, 2 weeks' time, my wedding was for. We're still going to go ahead. How does our wedding look?
I'm so sorry. It was like bad connection.
Oh, sorry. So if I was I was booked in with you as a groom in 2 weeks' time, my wedding date is, and I said, right, I'm going to go for it. We're going to go for it anyway with the new guidelines. How would my wedding look? What would that be?
So obviously it depends on what we were scaling down as. I know we were talking about scaling down a wedding later, but if we were going to scale it down, obviously we're in no position to say to them, well, you signed a contract that says 80 and 120, and we're not that venue anyway. That's not what we're
definitely
very flexible. But those numbers would have to be adhered to, and they would have to be social distance. So chairs would be, as you can probably see behind me now, really quite far apart.
So there'll be 30 guests.
Yeah,
and that's and then so I could still do an all-day wedding, or is that?
So you could, obviously, but you're running the risk of having your evening or wedding reception outside. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The food inside. So if we were living in Spain, I'd say absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my wedding would look like, I'd have 30 guests there. We could get married with you there, but then we could have food outside. Entertainment? No, we can't have entertainment, can we?
We can't have entertainment, no.
Not yet. So we could get married there and have a meal, have some drinks, and then that's it. Yeah.
But by the time that 2 weeks' time comes around, that could have changed. So I mean, there's all these. Yeah, it could have changed, or which leads us kind of nicely onto those tips, really. That or like England last week, it kind of regressed, didn't it? And,
yes. Yeah.
So, okay. So, should we move on? What we generally do, Meg, thank you very much for that as well. I mean,
thank you. That's really informative.
I feel like we just chucked loads and loads of questions at you there.
Yeah, we did. I just looked at the time and I was like, oh, wow.
I know.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Like we thrilled you a little bit there. I'm so sorry if it was loads, but it's a lovely venue and there's just so many questions to be, I think the bride and grooms would want to know about it,
No,
And I think we had so many questions and comments in from people, viewers as well, which we still got loads watching. I think that they've ate up our time, which is fine. This, that just shows the popularity of the venue, which is credit 100%. To you and the staff there. So, bravo, well done, and thank you very much for talking to us about that. So, what we generally do is the next section of this, we talk about a different subject each week, and we thought of this time maybe that we chat about if you wanted to downscale your wedding and you wanted to go ahead, what would be the top tips on doing that, really, you know? So what we generally do is we generally go around us. I don't know what we look on the screen. Am I top left to everybody?
You asked for me, yeah.
Right, there we go. So we generally do that. I'll say one, James will say one, and you will say one until we've exhausted it, and we'll just end the show. We're like, cut. So do you mind staying along and just maybe helping us with this a little bit? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So just so we clear for people, this isn't like you haven't got to worry about this. This is just an in case, to have a backup plan, to think, you know, if this did have to happen, and it doesn't, but if it did, these are some of the good things to think about.
I'm seeing it a different way. I'm seeing it as a positive. I mean, if I really wanted to tie the knot and get married, I would try to look into downscaling it. If I really needed to get married and I couldn't get a date for next year, which I bet you're absolutely like us. I mean, we've got people postponing now and putting it to next year. Well, obviously, we had weddings in for next year anyway. So now we've got the brides who've had to postpone, and we're trying our best to accommodate those new dates. So we've got double weddings next year. So it's coming to a stage where we can't take any more on. So it's I would say it's quite a positive. I mean, if
absolutely can be. I just think, you know, I seen the news last week and seen some brides crying, and we're all influenced by the media, not in Wales, in England, and I'm just like, I want to get I wanted to do something just in case that happens, and it's a pretty one. But absolutely. I mean, there are lots of people, and somebody rang me the other day actually that I just want to go ahead with their wedding at the end of August.
Yeah,
and they've decided they're going to downsize it. And I think that's wonderful. And I think they just want to get married. And I think it's amazing. But so it's a bit of both for me. So sorry.
Okay. So should I go first?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I would say the first thing, if you wanted to get married, you didn't want to wait to tie the knot, you wanted to downscale, that was an option for you. I would say the first thing you need to do is ring your venue, talk to your venue about it. See what you can, see what you can't do. Get the latest updates, because you know, Meg, that's why I asked you what was happening from Monday on, because although I'm in the wedding industry, I doubt I'm as clued up as you are as a venue. So, you know, and I think it's you guys hold all the information, and you're there, you're free help, and you're clued up, and you're educated on these matters because you have to be. So my tip would be ring the venue first, speak to them, see what you can and what you can't do.
Yeah.
How do you think of that, James?
I think that's a brilliant tip, Les.
Excellent. Number one.
My next one is gonna be thinking about guest lists. Where I seem really negative, but if you have to cut a guest list to remove the people you added on last, and it may seem obvious, but as a way of kind of narrowing it down, you know, you have those essential people that you will not get married without, and then you start adding people. At least that's what I did for my wedding. I think it's probably true for most people. And the people that were added last will probably be the first that you should be taking off.
Yeah.
So
I think guest lists can be over. Sometimes Auntie Joan was not really your auntie, you know, one of them ones.
Oh,
not your auntie, but everybody's got somebody you call auntie or cousin, and they're not really related.
That's the last thing to do, isn't it? It's like, they're my auntie, they're my cousin, they're everything, you know?
Absolutely.
So I know it sounds really bad on them people, but I think you just need to be ruthless. And if you really want to get married, you've got to be ruthless with that guest list.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. I would say the next thing I would say is to weigh up all your options before you jump to such a major decision. I would say pretty much what you guys have just said. Summarize your guest list, and without sounding ruthless, really look at who you want there, because effectively, and I know it sounds awful, but you're paying for them to have a day in such a difficult circumstance as it is at the moment anyway. We for that and weigh up if when you think of the sentence downsizing or downscaling your wedding, that's two words you would never wanted to hear in your life.
No, you're right. Good point.
So, I think in that aspect, you've really got to weigh up everything. Look at the pros and cons to maybe postpone it next year, but also really studying the guidelines of what you can and you can't have, because it might be that you put all this effort into downscaling your wedding, and by now people have bought centerpieces, they've bought love letters, hired things. So is it going to cost you more to lose all those deposits, or is it going to cost you less to just maybe postpone it next year? But I think it all depends on your current circumstances, because I feel some brides and grooms are marrying, to have the same name as their children, or to buy a house together, and there's so many different aspects of it. So I think it really matters the circumstance and where you stand at the moment. Because I don't think anyone should jeopardize their wedding to downscale their wedding. But if they had to, I think one of my first tips would be, it's so hard because I don't think I can even think of 10, but to really just contact everyone and weigh up your pros and cons before making such a big decision, and speak to the relevant people, like speak to us. So, your registration is another big thing. Your photographer, your family, if you've got family traveling, that's another big thing, because families are so all over the place.
Yeah, good point.
Fly in, and the quarantine, can they be in here? They have to quarantine for 2 weeks before they come. So it is really difficult. So I think that would
Do you know what? The traveling thing's big as well, isn't it? If just thinking of local kind of shutdowns like we saw in Leicester, and some of your guests potentially can be locked down.
Yeah, they can.
Crazy,
which is bonkers. But that was a really good one, Meg. Yeah, that was awesome.
Very much. I got next one, and I would say, think about, obviously you got vulnerable members of the family and stuff. It's really difficult. So I thought maybe if they couldn't make it, because that could potentially happen, live stream it.
Yeah,
100%.
You could live stream it as we do in here. Technology is great these days, and I mean,
it is.
Okay, you could bring in a company to do something like this and just film the ceremony so people could watch who they couldn't get there from home, so they're not missing out. So live stream it, baby.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like it.
Do you know, talking again, so my next one will be about kind of guest lists as well. But just for those people that can't make it, and I got this from brides.com because I do my research every week, Les, because he always has a go at me. But I just thought they suggested sending a letter to the guests that you have to kind of uninvite due to the restrictions, and just explaining it. And I know people understand it anyway. I just thought that was a really nice touch, because Auntie Joan, who's not really an auntie, and you've invited. And she may not be that important.
Auntie Joan's having a slam in tonight. Can we just change
Joan is Auntie Vi. Auntie Vi is popular on the webcast. Then she may have been really looking forward to it. So I just think a nice letter saying, "Oh yeah, this is the thing, and and these are the reasons, and we're so sorry, and we can celebrate with you at a later date."
Yeah. Absolutely.
Melissa had a question, a tip coming in there, which I think is a really good one.
That was
Yeah. Oh no, was it really?
You can read that. No, you can keep it. I think
I brought it up too early then. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
that was my next thing. Is you got to remember the real importance of the day. I know your family and your friends and everything is so important on a wedding, but effectively the day is about you two. Regardless of what goes on. So I think all the partying and I think lockdown taught us that we took so much for granted anyway.
100%.
We didn't visit friends much. We didn't see family much. So I think, walking as well. I think I did so much more walking in lockdown with my family, which I never would do before I got walking, even though I got a dog. But it's a walk, I promise. But definitely, I think the real essence of the day is just you two, and I think that is the most important thing we have to home on.
It is.
Really.
Yeah.
And you know what?
100%.
There's some people out there will get married, will want to downscale and do it, and there'll be other people that won't. Do you know what I mean? And wherever, there's no right or wrong. So we're just trying to help for people who do want to downscale. But yeah, there's plenty of other people who got time to wait. In fact, waiting, you could probably save up a little bit more money. Do you know what I mean? You got a bit of time on your hand, which is really positive again, because weddings are not cheap, as we all know. But it'll give you extra time as well. So either going on a downscale wedding or waiting, there's so many positives for both, I guess. So we're just trying to help out whatever. And Lloyd has just nicked mine, so I'll put mine up now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Same sort of lines. What I was going to say is, don't stress. Don't worry that it's not the dream you originally had. It's still going to be amazing. If you do go for a scaled down wedding, it's still going to be amazing because the people there are going to love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, they are.
So don't stress that your day is not the dream you originally had and talked about for many months and years.
Yeah.
If you got to downscale it. It's still going to be an amazing day and you're going to love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I'm gutted now. I've got to do my next because Les is so positive. And my next,
well, honestly, you're like
I'm really bad. Like my next one's just about the fine detail of it. I'm quite pedantic, and it's about cancellations. Like I think Meg, you alluded to it probably in a far more positive way than I'm gonna put it. But just looking at the suppliers, if it's me and and you've got me and I can't be there. Have you got a contract with suppliers? We would always recommend. I would say that you need to have those things in place if suppliers are professional and dependable. And then you need to look at those terms and conditions, and that has to be part of your consideration. And I'm going to leave it at that.
I think that's really important, and I think that any service is a professional service, and we spoke about this a couple of episodes back, didn't we?
We did with Lynn,
Wedding Guild of Wales, and we were all in agreement that if a venue or a service is professional and dependable, first thing they're gonna do is want you to sign a contract. They've got terms and conditions. Them terms and conditions are there for you both.
For both of your protection,
for everybody's protection. And I suggest that everybody reads. I mean, don't get me wrong. You could have like 20 services at your wedding. Take the time out to read the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
So was mine.
I don't know any of this. I think I was.
Yeah. This is the last one now, I think, is it? We've been around 3 times, James. So we're on 9.
I think so. I've got another one, and it's kind of positive, I think. I hope so. I really hope it is. It's just be prepared. Things are changing all the time. It is what it is. Like, you've got each other, and if it's 30 guests, if it's 100 guests, and you want to do it, just be prepared to do it. And as a bolt onto that, just have all the information prepared. I know Shauna on episode 5 had said that's how she was kind of caught out, but all the suppliers' contact details, all your guest contact details will be ready to go.
Absolutely. Okay.
That's 10.
That is 10, isn't it? And that is absolutely amazing. Meg, thank you so much. If people are watching this, listening, if they're watching this or watching it back on catch up on our Facebook pages, how can they contact you? Best thing to do is email or ring?
Email us a call on the number, obviously, on our website, or you can drop us an email. There's always a response either way. So it doesn't matter.
Perfect.
And you've got a really, really nice little active Facebook page, which is at the bottom there. So facebook.com/Coed y Mwster Bridgend.
Yeah.
And I'll take you straight to the Facebook page then, won't it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay. Guys, honestly, we're not just saying it, and because Meg's on now, but it's an absolutely well-run venue. Meg knows her stuff, as you can clearly see tonight.
You can. As
you've seen the photos that we shared, please go and look them up on Google and Facebook. Get in touch with Meg if something interests you, because it's a beautiful, well-run venue for your wedding, 100%. And I don't think you can go far wrong, really. So, thank you so much for coming on.
That's fine.
You're doing absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you very much, Meg. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye. I done a little premature wave again, then.
You did a little too premature waves, bro. Okay, so that was cool. I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of
really informative, and I know it's because I've got a dog, but I loved all those little bits, and I loved the little bits about the dog sleeping, and just really good, and how beautiful are those rooms, and
I couldn't believe
the accommodation and everything.
The dogs are allowed in. That's like some of the best rooms I've seen.
I know.
Really lovely. Okay, James. Anybody wants to get our top tips? Then obviously at the bottom of the screen, inbox the webcast.
Absolutely.
saying tips, and you'll get automatically our top 10 tips that we spoke about tonight, and every episode automatically each week. You only got to do it once. You can subscribe or unsubscribe to that anytime you like.
Yeah, you just to do that, you just type stop. It's nice and easy.
Yeah, that's fine. So you'll get our top tips from this week and every other episodes then from here on. Next week we have photography next week.
Yeah.
Something that I know about a little bit about. So I'll be talking you through on how and what to look for really, really good wedding photographers. We'll have a guest on as well.
Let's keep it a secret.
We'll keep it a secret. We'll announce it on our Facebook page with our little gifts that we have every week. Not gifts, little thumbnails we have every week.
Yeah,
wonderful. Next. So we got a photographer on next week, and we'll be chewing the fat over what to look for in your wedding photographer.
Yeah, absolutely.
See if we just got any comments. Yeah, we do. Melissa, amazing one again, lads. Loads of good information. Mel, thank you so much. It's really nice, and we really appreciate your comments. Thank you very much. And we've got dance floor, higher wheels, inform all the suppliers. Communication is key.
Yeah, correct. I have got that one. That would have been the 11th.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. You keep saying that, though.
I have actually got it.
Okay, thank you very much for tuning in. We really do appreciate you coming back and getting involved. Lots of comments, lots of likes, lots of people watching. Please share our page. Please pop a like on our page. Be nice as well. Thank you very much. James, that was episode 10.
Episode 10.
And I'll see you next week for episode 11. And we're talking photography. Everything you want to know about photography in weddings.
Yeah.
Over and out.
Take care.